Hi, I'm Sharia Kante,
And I'm Tiffany Clyde.
and our change project is Tomball Stride to address the walkability, or the lack thereof, in Tomball, Texas.
Tomball Stride is focused on the promotion of safer, more easily accessible pedestrian movement for teens enrolled at Tomball High School, achieved through student led public education and advocacy. While we may not be able to pour sidewalks and develop green spaces all by ourselves, we can empower our community to find their voice with the people who can make the changes that meet their needs.
Like most towns in Texas, Tomball is a car-centric suburb with little to no pedestrian infrastructure, creating safety risks for anyone who isn't driving. Not like Our target community is the students and families of Tomball High School, many who live within proximity of the school but still have to drive because walking is just not safe. By focusing around Tomball High School, we'll be targeting a high-risk zone with a history of auto pedestrian accidents, and in a small town like Tomball, our targeted advocacy could have an amplified impact.
We couldn't take on this task without a strong infrastructure and student leaders to facilitate continuity of Tomball Stride. So, to do this, we first identified four main areas of need: marketing and visuals, community engagement and organization, strategy and research, and networking. Once we knew the full scope of our needs, we spoke to students in classrooms and found many who could identify with our project goals. So, we invited them to join us for our first meeting. To sweeten the deal, we also offered students tasty incentives like free food, candy, and NHS service hours. Before we even had a name or a logo, we had over 30 people on board. To foster buy in, we held a contest for a team name and also had an open call for team lead applications. We had about 20 people apply, and after interviewing them all, we chose two co team leads per area, one upper and one lower classman. This allowed the upperclassmen an opportunity to develop their leadership skills while providing mentorship for succeeding underclassmen. We tried to factor in a mix of students living in our target area and those living in nearby master plan communities, such as Creekside Park, where safe and intentional walkways, bike paths, and green spaces were already established and could both inspire us and act as potential models. We were even lucky enough to get a member who grew up in Manhattan, so they could provide unique insight into factors that nobody in this area is going to consider. With 18 leads, nearly 20 general members, and an additional educator, Dr. Christine Holt, we are ready to make our move.
From around May through October, we employed a quasi-Delphi method of research, collecting qualitative and quantitative data through group and individual conversations, interviews, and surveys.
A special thanks to all the local officials, educators, business leaders, and of course, residents who helped us look beyond politics to understand the lived experiences of Tomball residents. Our ongoing efforts showed some key takeaways that supported our initial concerns about pedestrian safety. Firstly, 75% of residents noted that they typically drive short distances that they otherwise could have walked due to a lack of pedestrian pathways. Additionally, city planners noted the limited scope of ongoing projects and the lack of localized data needed to develop the projects.
In order to tackle these issues, we developed a two-pronged approach. First, we're developing a walkability study, or walk audit, along high-priority routes to document safety and accessibility concerns, but by collecting qualitative and quantitative data. Secondly, we'll be organizing a town hall to collect testimonials and highlight community priorities to local policymakers. In order to ensure the sustainability of our project, we prioritized recruiting underclassmen, ensuring continuity beyond this year. Structurally, we're fiscally sponsored by Link Houston, a nonprofit focused on equitable urbanism, providing us with the operational legitimacy and guidance so that we can focus on doing our best for Tomball.
Once we complete our town hall, we can immediately begin compiling the qualitative data we gathered to craft a report for city government and Harris County leadership. We've set a deadline of mid June to complete this task, which will close our campaign for this school year and give us a springboard for next year's undertakings. But first, team celebrations with special recognition for our trailblazing team leads, all puns intended, and our additional educator, Dr. Polt, all of whom have invested critical time and energy into forming lasting partnerships that will sustain the focus and purpose of Tomball Stride well into the future.
Thank you for your time and attention, and we invite you to join Tomball Stride on all your favorite social media platforms.